Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Kobold Chats. My name is Kendrick or Kendo, whichever you prefer, and it's Friday once more, which means I get to be with you here, doing one of my favorite things, talking about Kobold Press and general ttrpg stuff as well. I hope you're all doing absolutely amazing this very chill Friday, We are going to, as you probably saw either in the title of this stream or in the opening thing where there's like a thumbnail and everything, I'm not alone today. Today we will be talking with one of our Kobold Creates partners from Dungeon Studios, talking about their project that has to do with the Labyrinth. And as excited as I am to immediately just jump in, asking questions and all that good stuff, they got a little thing they want us to see first. So let's go look at that.
The nerve on this one.
Drinking straight from our stores without even asking permission.
Fenwick, milady, milord. Humble in origins, but rich in stories.
A right rude one he was, if you ask me, innit?
Tonight, we stand before you to unveil the masterpiece crafted for rulers by great masters of old.
And my heart leapt from my chest. This was the moment I'd lived for.
He's disturbed.
Yes.
I could feel the magic shift. I was losing control. What in the name of all that's holy?
Oh my goodness. I'm so excited to talk to each and every single one of you because I can't pick favorites, obviously, of the Kobold. I love all of our Kobold creators equally, but I will say, of all of them, this one was one of the ones that I thought really, really shook my brain in all the right ways. Hey, Amber, Josh, Michael, thank you so much for being here. Let the people know who you are and what is it that you do.
Thanks for having us. We're so excited. I think maybe Josh should start. Josh?
Hi, I'm Josh, CEO for Dungeon Studios. We are a content creation studio, and we work on a lot of different projects. One of them being the Labyrinth project that we are so excited to be working on with Kobold. We also produce a lot of 5th edition content ourselves. We have an audio drama called Fables from the Forgotten, and I'm super excited to be here.
Michael.
And I'm Michael, and I am the media director for Dungeon Studios, so I do a lot of the sound design, and any sound design that does get done, I okay it to go out. I direct a lot of our voice actors. I help do some of the acting myself. I play Goliath in Fables from the Forgotten, and I have the pleasure of working with some of the most talented and creative people on the planet.
And I am Amber M. Davies. I am one of the writers on the project for Fables from the Forgotten and our Labyrinth project with the Kobold Creates program. Just like Josh said, Dungeon Studios is like this amalgamation, this collective of creatives that we have kind of gathered together. And I like to tell people, if you're an artist and you need something like I need help with writing, then come to our server and raise your hand, and guess what, we have writers in there. If you're a writer and you need a voice actor because you want to have your story narrated, like, you just come to our server and raise your hand. And we just have so many creative people all together, and that's just what we love to do, is try to find really cool innovative ways to do things together.
I love that. I mean, as someone who loves getting my friends and getting groups of people together to just make things that we think are cool, things that are fun, like I absolutely love that. And maybe this is more specifically a question for you, Josh, but for everyone, how did Dungeon Studios come to be and like in the way that it is?
Oh man, I hear this one all the time. It's like the first question everybody wants to ask: how did Dungeon Studios happen? Um, you know, obviously during like the pandemic, a lot of creative D&D type stuff kind of popped up. People were looking for a place to kind of get together, and people were yearning for that, with all the lockdowns and things like that. So it actually started out, we were going to do like a live stream thing, and we kind of got that going, and then I started writing like adventure module stories, and then somebody says like, hey, these are really good, maybe we should try and like publish one. So we got some people together and we started working on publishing like adventure modules and things like that. And then we kind of started stepping further and further out of the box, and we had an idea for this anthology audio drama. And I'm trying to figure out all of the moving parts to stuff like this, because I never really done this before, so it's like I'm learning as I'm going. And trying to surround myself with people who fill in the gaps of knowledge that I don't know. So started putting some feelers out on social media and stuff, and getting people together in little meetings and kind of talking about the projects and ideas that we have. And a lot of people really showed some interest in it, and it enabled me to kind of start forming teams for some of these ideas that we have. And we just kind of kept the ball rolling and keep implementing all the stuff that we want to do, and we start birthing projects. And then I ran into an issue with trying to find the voice actors, the editors, and things like that. And once Fables started, our Discord community became pretty large. So we had kind of a lot of people, wanting to get in on a lot of these projects. And one thing about Dungeon Studios is we do try to work with as many professional or celebrity grade people as we can. However, we also kind of pride ourselves on kind of offering that stepping stone for people who are wanting to kind of get into the industry of whatever their interest is, whether it's voice acting, writing, artist, whatever. Because some people, they have the talent, they have the love for it, but have no idea how to get into it. So we do kind of provide that little stepping stone. We work with a lot of amateur people and kind of help develop people into whatever their interest is. And a lot of that kind of rolled into Fables. So our team is, kind of a mix of a lot of people from around the world. That's the other benefit about Dungeon Studios, is we work with people from everywhere. And we started writing scripts and stuff, and brought people in, and started doing voice recordings and nailing it down. And then Michael came on, and he's a fantastic sound editor, a guru with audio, and really helped turn Fables into what it is today, and what it's continuously developing into. We have so many plans that we are going to implement into this specific show coming for the future. So it's really nice to have such a solid team. And then we brought Amber in, and she started writing amazing stories, which really helped elevate the quality of the audio drama.
That's amazing, right? starting from those places, and then pulling together just like an amazing crew of people to help start making all of this happen. And so how did Fables from the Forgotten get born out of this, and get developed in the way that it has so far?
So it literally, we were doing what I like to call a jam session, where we get a bunch of people into a room, we just start talking ideas. We just start trying to figure things out, and
Phone is screaming at you, dude.
sorry, it's quacking. Yeah. So we were hashing ideas out, and somebody mentioned an audio drama, and we were like, okay. So we started thinking of ideas. Now, I've always liked like the old TV shows, like Tales from the Crypt, Twilight Zone, Outer Limits. There's some new ones out, that are kind of in that realm too, So I was like, something like that would be really cool. And then we started thinking a little bit more, and we're like, we have this huge world, the world of Eneron, which is the world that we have created for our adventure modules, Fables from the Forgotten, and pretty much everything we do kind of revolves around this world of Eneron. It has a lot of really cool characters in it, really rich lore, and a lot of things going on. So we were like, how can we take all of this cool lore that's hanging out in our cloud drive and implement it into something like an audio drama? So we started putting the parts together, and that's when Fables was birthed, and we just kind of kept developing the idea from that point.
Amazing. And Amber and Michael, what is it like for the two of you to what goes into helping make any of this possible from both of your ends?
Well, okay, I was gonna see if Michael wanted to jump in, but I'll start first. I guess we start with kind of the writing of it. I was actually not there for the very beginning. With season 1 out, I was kind of there in the background supporting and helping. But as we started rolling into season 2, I had a lot of ideas, and I kind of have a way of like corralling our writers and said, I can see not only this being an anthology, like each episode is anthological in nature, right? Yeah. But there's this crossover tavern where, souls go, they show up and they are judged. And why don't we have this canonical storyline happening in the tavern as well? And kind of, bring the storytelling up a bit with that, so that our audience can connect with the characters, and we're not just, being bombarded with a new character every episode. We have characters that we get to see every episode, that we learn about, that we love, that we attach ourselves to. So the writing started kind of going in that direction when I joined. And so we keep that in mind whenever we're writing our episodes, and where do we want to take this season. And then from the writing, we kind of pass it off to our voice actors and Michael to basically do the rest of it. I feel like, aside from the storytelling, I'm more of a supporter, a support role for this project.
So yeah, once Amber has everything written, then I have to be there to breathe life into and like kind of see her vision through. So whenever she writes sound cues and stuff, we figure out how we're gonna do that. I direct the actors, we audition out all the parts, we find the best voice for the character from our long list of talented voice actors. We find the best voice for the part. We do a rehearsal. We do the whole recording day. It's like a whole fun plan. It's like, goodbye, weekends.
Sounds like a lot of
Fables
fun, Michael.
is
Fun.
Doing another season. We're starting up again. And so directing these guys, trying to make sure we're getting the performance that we need out of Amber or Jake's or Mitchell's. Great writing. Those are two other writers that write for Fables. Shout out. And so yeah, and then we just have fun with it. You're not going to do something good if you're not having fun doing it. That's what I always say. Make it fun.
Yeah. No.
And then it takes you, what did you say for season 2? It was like a year and a half of sound development,
of production, from recording to sound producing to getting everything eventually out and fixing. Because it's not without its problems. We have speed bumps. Those speed bumps get dealt with, and then we move on. With every whenever you have a thing with a lot of moving parts, parts break, you got to fix it, and then you move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I'm interested. So that's Fables from the Forgotten, right? Let's talk a little bit about your Kobold Creates project, which is an audio drama set within the world of the Labyrinth, which is just so cool. Just so cool.
Yeah.
I read the script. It's really fun.
Absolutely.
If you call corruption fun.
I think some people would.
But yeah, so I saw that Kobold Creates, had this program, and my brain just kind of went, huh, I think this could be a really interesting idea. And so I took it to Josh and Michael. I said, what do you think? And they were like, yes, let's go. So we put together our pitch deck, which, I had no idea. We'd never submitted for anything like that before. I had no idea how hard to go with, like, we're all into this project. So I created a whole pitch deck with, like, I'm marketing what we do and how we're going to do it. And I even came up with, like, the plot. What's the plot for this story already, so that they have something, again, to attach themselves to.
Yeah.
And from there, I wasn't sure what to expect. We submitted, and then next thing we knew, we got the acceptance, and we were just jumping up and down. And then we went, oh man, no pressure. We gotta.
Now we actually have to do it.
So.
Is there going to be intrigue? Yes. Is there going to be characters? Yes. A setting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mystery.
Yeah. So we got to, with the Kobold Creates program, I think there was a, like, mini PDF involved that kind of shared some of the base information about Labyrinth. And I remember going through it and seeing some of the artwork, which is phenomenal. And the color scheme, phenomenal. It's all great. And I was really drawn to the character Elder Jasparga. Levid, I'm not entirely certain how to pronounce it. But just the artwork was so intriguing. And then that kind of got my brain going on, like, corruption was the thing. Like, is it corruption and redemption, these themes, and the labyrinth and the void? That was the thing. All the void stuff seemed so dark, and that fit in perfectly with what we do, because our storytelling is dark, dark fantasy, border, horror. And so I thought, man, what a neat concept if we could kind of develop a story and include some of these characters like Elder Jasparga, and there was Cormac and a few others that I was like, these are so interesting. We have to roll them up somehow. And so yeah, I kind of came up with this shell of a plot line. Boy, it wasn't until I really started writing the script that some very interesting things started coming out, and I don't want to spoil it, but I'm so excited for when this comes out into the world.
Wait till you find out what happens to Gary.
No, not Gary. I hope he's okay. But that's so cool. I love that the art was like a big draw for you as far as like the inspiration goes, for even that like beginning, like, portion of it. Because at least for me, I find that the art for a lot of TTRPG books is there to help inspire me for the stories that I want to be telling, right? It's supposed to make me go, oh, I want to be in this moment, or I want to see that character. And I'm so glad that it was able to do that for you.
Well, and when you work with voice actors, I don't know about anybody else, but for me, when I'm writing and I know what our voice actors are capable of, and then I see the art and I go, oh my gosh, I can hear the voice now for this. Okay. And oh, it sounds like, and now I hear water dripping off of the cavern, and it starts lighting up all these things with the artwork, but I also with like this auditory knowledge of how our voice actors do their job.
I'm sure having like an internal like library of like each person's voice is going to give you a very, very specific like, I know exactly who this person is. I know exactly who this person is. I for Michael, what I know that like you all are still in the production aspect of this, but is there anything specific about the Labyrinth, as you might imagine it sound wise, that you feel like you're going to be taking a lot of inspiration from? Of like, what does the Labyrinth and the people in it sound like to you?
Oh, that's a great question. So Labyrinth's inherently spooky, full of mystery and whimsy, hope and despair. So there's a lot of things like that we can incorporate. You can do a lot with audio. You can instill a lot of emotional response in people just through audio, and that's why, when we're starting a production, going into audio dramas was so appealing because it's easy compared to video, obviously, but theater of the mind always has intrigued me specifically. I like hearing something and then envisioning it however I want in my brain. So with the Labyrinth, I'm gonna have a lot of fun adding the spooky factors, putting in the echoes, giving space to the room that people are in, big or small. And I'm excited to work with the music director to really get some sick soundtracks going for this episode. Get some really good original music to choreograph these scenes and to show, how epic these things can get.
Yeah. If you...
That is...
Oh, no, please, Amber.
Sorry, no, that was such an excellent thing to bring up about the music, because in the trailer that we provided, the music for that episode was developed and created, composed by our music department. And man, that was for season 2, that was a first. And hearing the writing and the entire episode, it already comes to life with all the sound engineering and the voice acting that happens. And then you add this layer of music that is built specifically to tug at the heartstrings at the right moment, to make someone feel terror in the right moment. Like, it is, oh God, it just made, I nerd out over it. I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize.
But the original music is so fantastic. I am very excited to see what they come up with for the Labyrinth episode.
Yeah. Shout out William Lanham Music.
Yes, William Lanham Music. Check him out.
On YouTube, William Lanham. It's Lanham. The illustrious and talented.
The illustrious, the talented, the amazing.
I want to add one more thing about the sound and the writing in the Labyrinth episode, is that reading through the material for the Labyrinth, I envisioned that, there are places in the Labyrinth that can go anywhere, even perhaps to Eneron. And so we did perhaps put an Easter egg in there for people that are connected to fables might hear something that they recognize in the Labyrinth. And also in our Fables from the Forgotten, we have added a little connection to the Labyrinth as well, in just a little side mention you wouldn't really pick up unless you knew.
Yeah.
So you guys can listen out for that.
I mean, I love that one of the benefits of the Labyrinth being that it's connected to so many worlds, and it's made so anyone can bring their world and add it to it, is also something you all are taking advantage of, even outside of like playing the game, which is just so cool.
Yeah. And I remember going to, as I was developing the script, I went over to the Kobold Press server. And I just asked, because people love Easter eggs, and people in our community, oh, come on now. And so I just said, if I was going to put some kind of Easter egg for like Tales of the Valiant lore or Labyrinth lore or anything like that, what would you guys want to see? And I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but there was a really, really good one. And I feel like you will only know if you know. Like, it's so, oh man, it's very juicy.
I love that. We do have a question from one of the people in the audience asking, they understand if this can't be answered because, potential spoilers, but are the Valiant 6 involved? The Valiant 6 being our iconic heroes for Tales of the Valiant.
The Valiant 6. Here's the thing. I am not
That's so
100%
fair.
on all the lore. Can you? Do they have names?
Yes, they do have names.
Okay.
There is Zalbakar Andrialix, the Kobold Warlock. There is Alizon Hailsai, our Elven Rogue. Gada Zaid, our Human Fighter. God, I can't believe I can actually name so many of them.
It's impressive.
Thank you.
You're doing great.
Oh no, I said Hendrian Casca? Hendrian Casca.
Arbitron Fiscal.
Yeah, right. Very, very fantasy names. Our orc mechanist. The dwarven wizard whose name is Unthar Shaleheart, and then Xenophosh, the human cleric.
Okay, I will say, as of right now, no. That doesn't mean that I can't go back and add a line or something somewhere in the script, because we have not yet finished production.
The answer's maybe.
Yes, maybe.
Maybe.
It could be now.
Who knows? The labyrinth is weird and twisty. Who knows where it'll go? Someone. Hey, this is a question I can answer. What is this I hear about a multiverse spanning labyrinth? Hey, welcome to Kobold Press.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. Yes, I guess if any of you are listening to this and you don't know what the labyrinth is, let me let you know. So the Labyrinth is a setting that we just released for Kobold Press, which you can find within the Labyrinth Worldbook. It is a world of 10,000 worlds, a connective labyrinth that connects a bunch of different realms, worlds, the river Styx, the tree of life Yggdrasil, and even dead worlds slowly being corrupted by the void. It is not space as it is connective tunnels that are like our CEO Wolfgang is very, very, very specific. He does not want it to be space, but it is tunnels. It's not underground either. It's in a different space. But in this space there are thousands and thousands of worlds connected with these passages between portals and weird doors that are physical things that need to be maintained, protected, and even sometimes they just kind of show up somewhere, because sometimes there are factions within the labyrinth that are trying to protect it or use it, both good and evil. There are some factions like the Servants of the Dreaming God that do accidentally dream up whole new worlds, and then it's other people's jobs to figure out what to do with them. It is a physical place with texture, people, and cultures that are all built around the fact that there is this place that connects all of these worlds together and powers that be that want to be using them. And I'm so excited to see how it lives and breathes in you all's audio drama.
Yeah. I kind of envisioned it as like the space between worlds, or like, if you were in the walls of a house. You're not in the house, you're in the walls of a house.
I think that's a good way to think of it as well.
Yeah.
Because it is a place that you have to be in, and you can physically walk from one point to the other.
Yeah.
So,
Amber, write that down.
Writing it down. Okay, we're now going to place the audio drama in the walls of a house. Got it.
That's pretty good. A whole audio drama with people hiding in the wall.
There's a Michelin star restaurant in the labyrinth.
Yes.
Is this you all's first time working specifically with like a pre-made like IP like the Labyrinth, and turning that into something original, something your own? And how does it feel to like take these pieces that someone else has made and go, okay, I'm going to make something completely new out of this?
Yeah, this is our first time working in someone else's IP, which, being kind of the beginning part of the process with the writing, I did feel a little bit of pressure in the beginning to make sure that I knew, that I felt knowledgeable on what I was writing about. And I will say, with all the projects we have going on, reading is like low on my priority list.
I understand.
but I had to make it a priority so that I could really understand the space or the not space of the labyrinth. And then even then, I think it really helped to go to the server and start talking to people about it and making sure that I felt like I was aligning with the general vision of the labyrinth. And then I think I even remember hearing either from you or someone from the Kobold Creates program saying like, you know, we really want you guys to take it's your vision. Like at this point, we have handed you this, like it's okay. And once I felt I had that kind of permission to play, that pressure came off a little bit. And I feel like I hope we made, you know, the right decisions, but I think we did.
Yeah. I mean, hey, I don't think you can make a wrong decision.
Yeah.
It is yours.
Right, right.
Quick question for you, Josh. Do you ever perform in any of these?
I do make little cameos in there. That usually it's a small part of some sort. But yeah, I do some voice acting in there. I try to add in you know, my flavor inputs during the creative process and stuff like that. You know, and just kind of working any ideas that I may think is cool into the episodes, you know, working with Amber or Jake, any of the other writers to kind of get some of my flavor in there, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
you got a cameo
absolutely.
coming up next Thursday.
Yep.
I do.
On the next episode.
I do. I play a airship conductor.
Whoa, that's
Yeah.
Spoilers, Josh.
That's so cool. It's an exclusive spoiler, you know.
Yeah, but that is you know, kind of going back to your question, like having Josh around and Michael, we do kind of, as we're writing in fables for, you know, in Eneron, we have a little bit more of that flexibility to go, you know, do airships exist in our world? Yeah,
why
you
not?
know, whereas like with Labyrinth, I was like, gotta make sure that fits. But yeah, it is nice to be able to go, or, you know, sometimes Josh will say like, I have this fantastic idea, or Michael, anybody, I have this fantastic idea. What about this? And we'd have a discussion like, well, is that canon in our world or not? And it's nice to have that kind of flexibility and input. The lines feel a little more flexible to build, to world build, as we create fables and continue on into future seasons.
Yeah, that's so cool. Here's a question. Dungeon Studios has so many projects going on, and the team is always knocking them out of the park. What are some of the other projects that the three of you are currently involved in?
Ooh. So I know Michael has his own podcast that he produces, and actually we've done some kind of collaboration things there as well. There are some episodes there that Michael fully scripts them out, and we bring in some of our voice actors, and we kind of do a collaboration thing. Mike, if you want to elaborate on it, go for it.
Yes, it's called Michael and Jeremy Steal Your Podcast. So Jeremy and I, he's my cousin, we steal someone's podcast every Monday, and then we do it better, faster, stronger, and other things. Sometimes the podcasts that we steal, we stole an episode of, we didn't steal an episode, but like I always write original content if we steal a scripted show. But I did do a comedy version of Fables, where my cousin and I get sent into the fables from the Forgotten. And so we got to interact with all of our voice actors in character as if me and Jeremy just kind of came from Earth. That was fun. I made Eneron Santa. He's canon now.
Eneron Santa.
His name is Rydar the Wanderer. And, Jeremy and I were trying to save Christmas. But yeah, we still podcast all the time. Michael and Jeremy Steal Your Podcast.
and then I mean, we have some projects that they're kind of, we're all pushing things forward. There's a lot of them. We have some settings books and a world book that we're getting ready. Well, at least the settings books will be coming, not the settings books, the modules, sorry. It should be coming soon in the future. And then we also have a world book that we're putting together for Eneron. There's been some talk of creating like a fiction book for Fables, gathering a lot of the tales there. But you know, we again, as somebody said, we have so many projects up in the air, and there's only so many of us, so we're kind of just pushing along as much as we can. Outside of Dungeon Studios, I go to a lot of conventions, and I do, you know, workshops on world building and writing, because writing is what I do. And I kind of sort of maybe possibly designed a game. This is very new. I haven't told anybody yet. You guys are the first. This is an exclusive. But I had designed a game. I ordered a prototype. I'm waiting for it to come in. I'm hoping that maybe it becomes something, and it would be really cool. But it's kind of a world building type game, similar to, I think it's called Save the Queen, if you've ever played it.
Oh, For the Queen.
For the Queen, that's what it's called. Similar to that, but not. It's different.
Yeah.
That's all I can really say until I have more development on the game.
Yeah. Amazing. Josh?
Other projects besides this?
I mean, if you have any, understandable if you don't. I feel like I understand that personally. I get you.
I mean, I operate a full-time job and then do Dungeon Studios.
Yeah.
Now, within Dungeon Studios, we do so many things. You know, it's not just Fables. It's not just creating Eneron. We have tons of other ideas that we're always trying. We got a lot of lines in the water trying to get at a lot of different angles. We have several projects and other shows that we've put out. One is the game podcast, which was kind of like a talk show type thing. And then we have other content like tabletop cinema, which is
which I would love to get back to and develop that.
I know, I want to get it back going.
It's kind of like Mystery Science Theater. We all watch, you know, movie clips, shows, and then talk about the tabletop mechanics that would have been involved for that thing to happen.
I love that.
Yeah. But
That's so
Deception
cool.
Checks is the one I think a lot of people, I mean, that one feels a little more timeless. And even though, you know, we haven't put out any new Deception Checks, I think those ones still are super duper fun.
Yeah, those are fun. It's essentially it's a prank phone call done in a D&D type fashion. So they could get pretty funny.
That's so
I called
good.
a assisted living place one time and said, all right, we're going to be setting up the Elderly League of Loppers. I'm going to be there in the morning, 5 a.m, with 500 people ready to go.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I think I called one, and I called a freezer place, and I was trying to ask them if they would let me freeze our
Party members.
fallen party member while everybody goes to get a cleric to do the resurrection.
That's so good. What is... Oh, a question for me. What is the thing that I look forward to most when doing collaborative projects? Okay, sure. And honestly, I think this speaks a lot to what all of you have been saying. I come from doing years of like long form improv, also doing tabletop stuff, also doing my own audio fiction and such. And so the main thing that I like about collaborative projects is that I don't have to do it alone. I get to be with a bunch of people who all have a bunch of different perspectives, who all have a bunch of different skills, and come at the creative process in very different angles. And being able to mold all of that together into something cohesive that we can then together hold out our hands and go, look at this thing we made. It's so cool. Because there are things that...
I love that feeling.
Right? There are things that we can't make by ourselves, or things that we wouldn't make if it was just us, because we only come at it from, you know, our lived experience, our own, you know, desires, our own joys, our own inspirations. But the moment you start getting other cooks in the kitchen, then everyone's pulling their own stuff.
And I would suggest to people, if you haven't been in some kind of collaborative project, that you try to find one, because as a writer, I mean, it is usually a very solitary activity. And I had never had a problem with that. I've enjoyed writing, you know, I've published, but it wasn't until we started kind of doing this collaborative, you know, experience writing scripts that it was just it's extremely energizing for me, and an experience that I would never have had just writing novels, you know, or writing game modules by myself. It's the script writing collaboratively we look forward to it, like, every time we meet and talk.
It's literally magical. Like, there is an effect that happens when you get all of these creatives into a room together, and it's just amazing. It's literally what I do all of this for. Is that kind of feeling.
It's like being a part of the coolest club.
Yeah. The coolest club. Because then you got something at the end of it that you can all sit back and look at and go, we made that.
Right.
We did this together.
We did it.
We did it.
Are you doing something, Josh? Or are you just showing off your Dungeon Studio shirt?
It's a good shirt.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize.
I didn't get the memo.
I got my hat too. Look at me.
All merched up. Oh, it's the same. I didn't even realize it was the same hat. I'm gonna be so honest. That's so good.
Josh wanted to cover up the logo with his sunglasses.
There. No, I just always wear sunglasses.
There you go. It was already on his shirt, you know, so he didn't need to double it up like that. Amazing. We are oh, you know what? What is... Oh, no, sorry. That's a different thing. My brain. Okay, cool. We are coming up here closer to the end of the hour. Does anybody else have any other questions, any other thoughts, anything you would like these wonderful people to know? I'll give you all a second to get those questions in, because I've got one more for you all. What is it that you think makes Dungeon Studios and the shows and projects that you do different from everyone else?
Well, I'll start. Here's the thing. Back in the day when we had radio plays, right? People know what radio plays are, but there's been this, you know, stray away from that to constant, like, Netflix and video media. And I feel like we're bringing it back. It's this resurgence of audio, and what Michael said was, you know, the imagination, living in your imagination and being able to see this with your brain, hear the sound effects and see what it looks like. And that's something that I think, like I said, I don't think it's being done the way that we're doing it. Not very often, I think. A lot of the feedback that I hear from people I introduce this to is, man, you guys are highly produced. I did not expect that. And if they just give us that minute, you know, to listen to it, that is the feedback that we hear. We hear, you know, you should be submitting for awards, all that kind of stuff. And I think it's because this is just something that people aren't used to anymore. I don't know. Maybe that sounds a little, I don't know. But if you like audiobooks, this is not an audiobook. It is not someone reading to you with fancy voices and you can hear the different voices. This is like what I say it's a movie for your ears. It is fully produced with sound effects and scripts and acting, not just narration. So that's something that, even though I say it to people, sometimes they don't realize until they hear it. So I'm very excited for people to, you know, start checking out our stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of original stories, a lot of original concepts, you know. I think, you know, this is great, especially if you just don't like books, right? You're just not a fan of books.
You don't have time to read?
You can listen. For you. You can listen to it.
That's right.
Josh?
Yeah. You know, I think that it's a great way to kind of explore our world of Eneron. You know, it's got some descriptive stuff going on in there, and some lore building aspects to it. So I think that's one of my favorite parts to it. And you know, personally, I'm constantly looking for ways to be outside of the box, right? So we make D&D 5th edition content, right? So that's already a box right there. You know what I mean? It's really kind of hard to do stuff outside of that and still, you know, have it be relevant, right? So this is one way that is, I think, extremely creative for establishing that outside of the box link.
And accessible for people who don't necessarily, they don't have to know D&D lore or 5e or anything like that. They don't even have to know how to play D&D to enjoy this.
Yeah. I love that. I love that.
And I also love, I think what, building on when Josh said, you know, because the Eneron lore is so rich, we do a lot of little seeds. If you follow throughout our season 1 and season 2, we will bring things back, bring characters back, bring, you know, little details back that we don't call it out and say, hey, look at this, we're bringing it back. It's very subtle, like an Easter egg. We're very, you know, we know that our community likes that kind of stuff. So you really have to listen and pay attention to even notice, I think, that, you know, we're doing those subtle things just for the people that like it.
Yeah. That's honestly some of the best creative work is for the specific people, the real niche people who are like gonna go crazy over like the smallest detail.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, where can people find all of your stuff? Where can they find you on social media? And how long do they have to wait until the Labyrinth stuff starts coming out? If you even have an answer for that. I know you're still working.
So they could find a lot of our stuff on our website, which is dungeonstudios.co. A lot of our content is up there. There's things about the cast members. You can check out our art team. We have an amazing art director, Gary Labe, and our music director, William Lanham. There's links to all of their stuff. Some of our partners are linked in there. And also our YouTube page is another great place to stay up to date on any of our content. If anybody hits the bell on there, they'll get notified anytime we drop an episode of Fables, and they'll get to check it out. Also,
newsletter.
We have a newsletter for the website as well. That's another great way to kind of stay up to date with what we have going on, and pretty much all of the other social platforms as well. But our main place for putting our content is our website and YouTube.
Amazing.
Yeah. And as Josh mentioned, you know, Fables from the Forgotten is on our YouTube and on all major podcasting platforms. If you don't prefer YouTube, you know, because, you know, you shut the screen and then you can't listen to it anymore. But
God forbid you plug Spotify, Josh.
But we are on all major podcasting platforms as well. Fables from the Forgotten Season 2 just dropped this last Thursday, and it drops every 2 weeks on Thursday. So as long as you know, check us out on one of those platforms, you'll get new episode every other Thursday. I should say it correctly.
Binge season 1.
Yeah, and check out season 1's fully bingeable. And for those of you who are new to the content, right, with season 1, from what I hear, we found our legs fairly quickly with the first few episodes. And so even from the first episode to the second to the third to the fourth, you will hear massive amounts of improvement and development, where by the end of season 1, we're very close to where we're at with season 2, and we've already made even more improvements going towards season 3 and season 4. We haven't made any official announcements, but we might, you know, we're adding some new visual elements coming in future seasons, so that, you know, if you like to have that with your, you know, imagination and listening, then we have developments on the way.
And the Labyrinth, we're expecting a December release.
Yes, thank you for bringing that back. Yes.
Amazing. Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for being here with me. This was an absolute joy. I'm so excited to go back and binge all of season 1.
Yay.
And hey, all of you out there, you better do the same. There will be a quiz, pop quiz next Kobold
check it
Chats. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. This has been amazing. And guess what? Kobold Chats is going to be here next week, same time, same Kobold channel. So hey, you know where to find me. Is there anything else I have for all of you? No, I think that's it. So with that, don't forget to go out, be bold, be brave, be valiant, and I'll see you next time. Bye, y'all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.